Heat and more flooding is on the way. That's what's going on across the United States. My name is Michael, here to give you an update on what's going on out there in the weather community. Right now, along the East Coast, we have some heat advisories in effect here from the National Weather Service. As heat advisories in effect for central areas of Georgia. Those flood watches are in effect for areas of New England and portions of the East Coast into areas of the Midwest. So watch out for those flood watches. We have I believe those are air quality alerts that are in effect for the central parts of the country. It's more towards the west. Extreme heat warnings are in effect as that heat is now building in the western parts of the United States, and as well as those casual red flag warnings. I'm here. My name is Michael. Hope everybody had a wonderful 4th of July weekend, and let's get right into it. Alright, here from the Storm Prediction Center, as you can see, our severe weather threat, we're going to be more on the quieter side today, although the rain is still going to be packing a punch across the United States out there. The slight risk in effect for areas in the central part like Grand Forks and Fargo, and areas in the central part like Roanoke, you're going to be under that slight risk of severe weather. Now, as far as our tornado threat today, we have a 2% chance of tornado that's going to be in the northern parts. Grand Forks and Fargo, not really going to be much tornado threat across the country, but as you get to your wind threat is going to be mainly a part of the northern part, central parts of the country, the East Coast, and in the South. It's not going to be a big deal of it, but we are going to be having that severe weather. As you can see there, we have the hail threat, that dashed line that's in effect for Grand Forks and Fargo, so you do want to watch out in that northern central part of the country. Like I said before, we've been watching out in that specific area before, constantly looking at severe weather there. As we get into towards our tomorrow on July 7th, we start to see the slight risk pop up still in that north central part of the country. Marginal risk in effect for areas of the south and the east coast of the United States. Our tornado threat is going to be in that area just south of Fargo now. We're going to have that 2% chance of tornado risk. The wind threat is going to be 15% chance right there. That's going to be mainly in the northern central part of the country. 5% chance of wind threat is going to be mainly along the eastern coast of the United States as well as the southern areas of the United States there. As we have our hail threat, it's going to be mainly in the north central part of the country. You get the deal at this point. As we get in towards our July 8th, this is going to be marginal right now for the time being. Marginal mainly across the northern central parts of the country, the western parts of the country. As you can see there, thunderstorms will be in effect across many, and this is a part of our flooding issue. Thunderstorms will be in effect for multiple areas across the United States of the lower 48, almost hitting every single lower 48 state. That's how much rain that's going to be possible. As you can see there, a probabilistic area, we have the chance of that wind threat that's going to be mainly along the areas of the United States in the northern central part of the country as well. Alright, here is our look at our excessive rainfall outlook here from NOAA here, and as you can see here, we're going to be mainly having flooding across our areas of New England. If you live northeast of New York, you are going to be in that red. Some yellows around Baltimore, D.C., Richmond, Virginia, dipping into North Carolina, Virginia Beach there, and then you have the greens. So flooding will be, this is excessive rainfall, so flooding will be possible as we get into those parts of the country. So we do need to watch out for that rain. It'll be a lot of rain. It's well needed rain, I would say, but a lot of this rain, when it happens over time so much, we start to see the possibility of, having that flood risk, a lot of rain in a short period of time. We start to see it, so make sure you have a way to get those alerts and things of that nature like that. Now, as for the heat mainly driven in the eastern parts of the country, but we're starting to see that heat build back up in the west, and that's what you're going to continue to see as I move this across. Heat still in effect, major heat across the south, and now you start to see in the western parts, Los Angeles, just north of that area, you're going to start seeing that heat indeed. Thursday, as we get into Thursday, we still have the major heat, even excessive heat, getting into areas of northern Florida down there, areas of the coast of the Carolinas, some heat possibly getting down there into South Florida. Florida is really going to have this excessive heat. Friday, we're going to have some more excessive heat. Moderate heat in the west. Saturday, that western heat starting to build back up once again, but let's not forget about it. So mainly the beaches of the south right now, under that extreme heat that's in effect. As you can see, Florida, we have a lot of extreme heat going on down there. And as we get into Sunday, that extreme heat's going to stick around. So everybody's been having this extreme heat across the United States. Mainly going to be in the West, mainly going to be in Florida. Specifically Florida, you're going to have that extreme heat. 7.9 million people on the day of Sunday of July 12th. So we need to watch out for that heat that's going to be in effect for those areas right there. So what could we expect? We could expect some dangerous heat temperatures, possible heat stroke and heat exhaustion if you're out there for long periods of time. So make sure you have a way to stay hydrated and things of that nature, because this is going to be some dangerous heat. We're not done with it just yet. And if you live in the West, the heat is growing back. Areas like Colorado and areas like Wyoming, you need to be on lookout for the major heat that's going to be in effect. Some little dots and specks of that extreme heat that will be in effect for areas like that. So there is that potential for that extreme heat in Florida. Specifically Florida, you're going to be battered. And I'm just going to zoom in on that just so you get an idea of the cities on what's going on there. If you look into your Monday forecast, we start off, we're not as bad with the heat. Tuesday into Wednesday, we start to see heat pop up south of Jacksonville. Thursday, we start to see heat. It's popping up now for areas all along the coastline as you go from Wilmington area, Myrtle Beach, down to Savannah, down to Jacksonville, Orlando, and Tampa. As we get to Friday, that heat is growing. We now have areas of Miami-Dade County that are under that heat, extreme heat that is starting to grow there. As we get into Saturday, you still have the same story here. We have extreme heat in effect areas of Columbia. And as we get into Sunday, that heat, extreme heat, sticking down there in Florida. As you can see there, we will be having 7.1 million people. But this is the day I think we're going to have the most heat, which seems to be right here on this graph that's shown. That's going to be into Saturday. Saturday, we're going to have some extreme heat that's going to be in effect. Watch out for areas like Columbia. So 10 million people, you will be under this extreme heat right here in Florida to Georgia to the Carolinas. So I don't want to miss you guys there in Georgia and the Carolinas. You will have some extreme heat too along the coast. The far inland you go, the more major heat you start getting, then you start getting the moderate heat, and then of course you get the minor heat as you get in towards the Alps region of the United States. Now here's the look right here for the Climate Prediction Center. I'm just going to look and see what they've got going on. This is our 8 to 14 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. As you can see there on your screen, we will be expecting above average temperatures across the entirety of the United States. As you can see there with that extreme heat, it's kind of showing down there. As we have areas of the South right here near Florida all the way up to Georgia, the Carolinas, you start to see that above average heat that's still sticking around. Canada, you're going to have near normal to below average temperatures. But as you get into that areas of the country, as we discussed before, we're starting to. And as you can see there from the Storm Prediction Center, this is July 13th through the 19th. We're going to have above average temperatures that are going to be playing a part across. So this is about a week or two from now. And as you can see there, above average temperatures building in the west, below average temperatures in the south. As we get into the precipitation for July 13th through the 19th, right now we're in a wet weather pattern, but as you get into the days that are getting towards the July 13th to 19th threshold, you're having the above average precipitation in the west, the below in the central parts of the country, near normal on the east coast. As you get into New England, though, above average precipitation, not too above, but above average precipitation probability is there. Now, speaking of that above average precipitation there, as you can see, that's going to be in effect, this rainmaker rather that I've been talking about. As you can see, we're going to move this GFS model just across your screen there, and as you can see, we're looking at the rain. It's going to keep going and going and going across that southeastern United States of the country right there. You just continue to see rain, and we're going to show the European model as well. Probably not going to be much difference, just going to be able to show us that showers and thunderstorms more often. As you can see there, rain across the southeast United States. We get breaks here and there, but just rain. We need this rain. You know, grass is drying out. We've had the extreme heat. This is just like, and I saw an example of this before, this is just like having all of the winter storm warnings driven across the eastern part of the United States. Now we had all of the extreme heat warnings driven across the portions of the United States. So a lot of grass has dried out. We need the rain. We really need it at this point in time. This is also helping us cool down, because if you've noticed, the temperatures will drop as we go from 100 degrees and you get these showers and thunderstorms, and then magically we're now at 80, 70 degrees. So we need these showers and storms regardless. It'll help with all of the dry grass, all of the dry things out there that's been burning up from all of the sun. But that's just something that we're looking into. We're hoping for this weather pattern now. You also have the chance of those severe storms, so don't forget about that. The chance of severe storms. They'll bring possible tornadoes and things like that as we get to the upcoming days. Remember, I'm always looking at the Storm Prediction Center here for you, giving you the updates that we need to inform you on what's going on out there. So pretty much make sure you have a way to get those alerts. So even we are getting a lot of rain and we need the rain, don't forget about the severe thunderstorms and the severe weather risk that comes with these storms. But my name is Michael. Have a great rest of your Monday. Have a great week out there. And I'll see you out there once more in the weather community.